So for FIG's political work, I'm really looking forward to basically really boosting FIG's radical progressive voice in our campaigns and our advocacy, and also working a lot more closely with our partners like CDN and the Global Young Greens to kind of like put all these young green voices on the map. In terms of FIG's internal structures and being more feminist, I think we're doing quite well at the moment because in a lot of our elected positions and in our office, we have a lot of women and non-binary people in these positions, which is great. But I think the important thing is to make sure that this is actually sustainable. So we are looking into things such as mental health policy and more financial support. And I think measures such as this, which are actually concrete, will help to keep these feminist structures in place. For FYG to be more diverse and inclusive, I think we are already exploring methods internally, which again comes to financial support and mental health, but also into anti-racist trainings. And I think these are very important, but also FYG is its member organizations. So we need to work with our members to make sure that on national level that the Greens are very diverse and inclusive, and just to ask ourselves these questions all the time, like who is leading our campaigns, who are the voices, and like what movements are we connecting to on like a national, international level, and are these to be able to bring like new perspectives and new ideas to the green movement, and just understanding that at times we need to like learn new things and also like accept when we need to do better and take that on board. His role within Europe is, first of all, quite obviously to know that we are not just about the EU. Like we do work with our young green MEPs, and we are like helping to influence policy in this way, but also and policies such as for green, like social and feminist Europe, and these are very important to have in the EU. But also to understand that FYG stands for like no borders and working towards this kind of sustainable future with young people that are at the center of this. So I think FYG's role is to train and advocate and campaign to get young people's voices heard across Europe. So a big moment for FYG, I think, is that we've been creating this narrative of advocating for a system change, which is brilliant because it's encompassing like all of our policies that we've had for a long time, and finally it's becoming like at the forefront of European politics because young people are really tired of business as usual and of politics as usual. And I think what people are expecting from FYG is to continue this, but to actually start to really build the momentum to see policies that are going to be put in place. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, FYG has already moved most of our activities online, and sadly this will be the case still. But I think this is also a really good opportunity. So it means that our capacity building events are actually reaching more young people who otherwise usually can't travel to FYG events, but now they can take place online. So I think this is really good, but also this also gives us time to really reflect on FYG's internal structures and understand what are we doing to make FYG a lot more sustainable and stronger in this. But yeah, and I also think with this we can be a lot more creative in our actions and campaigns as well, so we can still have fun. So I think to make green policies part of the solution to the current crisis at the European level, I think the only solutions to it are green solutions for Europe. Like the recovery, as we're campaigning for, must include a just transition. We need to have green jobs, and we need to take people out of energy poverty, for example. We need to have sustainable and affordable housing, and we also need like a good Europe-wide healthcare policy that is like first of all about like crisis preparedness, but is also considering like sustainability as well. To get there, I think we need to continue lobbying the EU on this and also national governments so that we can actually create a proper just transition. And for the UK, it's basically the same solutions are needed for the UK. The Greens are less influential at the national level, but the policies are popular. So I think in the UK, the Greens need to really build a campaign that is actually resonating with people so that they can get behind it. Because at FYG, we are calling for like a good life for everybody. Everybody deserves a good life. And that is something that I think everybody could get behind. I don't know who should disagree with that. Stronger LGBTQI plus rights and feminist policies. So far, we've campaigned very hard on topics such as violence against women and abortion rights, and also against these governments that have been attacking the rights of LGBTQI plus people. So I think we're doing well in that. Greens are a very strong voice on these topics. But to do more, we need to make sure that these policies that we're creating are more intersectional. So we are fighting to close the pay gap, and have more women and LGBTQI plus people in leadership positions, and also to finally recognize care work as work. But I think if it's only, hetero, white, cis women who are benefiting from these, then it's not good enough. And so we really need to think about what are we campaigning on. One of my favorite policies is basic income, because I think this is actually going to create economic stability for everybody. So if I had the choice between passing law on environmental protection or social injustice, I would go for social injustice, because I think that social justice is kind of like at the heart of everything we do as Greens. Like, we need social justice for climate justice, for feminism and anti-racism, and a whole lot more. So it's just the foundations to our work. If I had to choose between pineapples or meat on pizza, I would choose pineapples, because I am a proud member of the Pineapple on Pizza Club, and you can't argue with me otherwise.